Jen asked me to get her a grid. After a little bit of definition, we came up with the idea that this grid needed to be made of pipe, hung from four corners, and then have something strung in between it. The difficulty there was finding a material that could span the size she wanted and not go soft and smiley in the middle. Some of the suggestions were PVC and copper and other lightweight aluminum. I've worked with all of those materials, and I know that none of them will stay flat over 30 feet. So we went to looking at irrigation pipe, which is almost impossible to find in the urban area, but managed to find some as close as Salem and brought it up. And it seems to work just fine. There were some setbacks along the way, but otherwise I think it turned out to be the right material for the problem, and you get what you see there today.
I would say the most challenging part of the show of Gridlock would be dealing with this new and amazing grid that we've created. It just adds an additional element to, you know, the already difficult and precise rigging that needs to happen during the show.
So we're just figuring out 50 million marks and rigging.
So we wanted to build a set piece, and we liked this idea of a suspended piece that had stuff hanging off of it where we could explore this kind of feeling of trying to maneuver. And out of that grew this large suspended set piece that we could move up and down, that we could tilt, that we could place really high and have stuff swinging underneath of it, or if we lowered it way down, we could pull a hanging point up through the center of the grid and split the stage visually so that you could see things going on both planes, and that those things are interconnected, but yet they're happening differently at the same time. So that's kind of where the set piece came from. We also loved the idea of the grid representing this gridlock situation that we get in. We get in a rut, we get stuck in what we're doing, and it's just hard to get out of. Again, things that you're obligated to that you maybe didn't intend to be committed to, and now they're interfering with your purpose. So from that was born the grid and the name Gridlock.
You know, other than the grid, I know that Jen and I, we wanted to do another show with you know, original music. This is now our third show with Brian Free, and our second one where he's actually composed the music specifically for our show. And so I know we wanted that element again, and then, you know, adding the grid into that. And we really wanted it to be a more, you know, a more mature show than some of our past shows. We're a really fun, goofy bunch of girls, and we like to do our fun shows that we get to let loose in Art in the Dark and be these crazy characters in our superhero show. And I think we wanted Gridlock to have a mature approach, not only in our aerial skills but also in the dance world. We wanted to incorporate a little bit more dance in this show, and we really wanted to have that kind of pedestrian urban feel, and I think that's the reason we really wanted the whole cast to wear jeans and, you know, a pedestrian, you know, tank top, so that it kind of gives that feel, rather than we're not stepping out and becoming these imaginary characters. We're real people, and it's kind of more hard-hitting than some of our other shows.
We are hoping now that what our show can bring to others is the aha moment, the arrival. The end of our show is representative of that arrival, and sometimes it's a small arrival in life, and sometimes it's a really big change and a big arrival, a total different life stance that you come to. So we hope that the inspiration that our audience is able to take away is partly just visually pleasing. I think that the grid is going to bring something that is really different, and it brings a whole new level and dimension to the aerial work, because suddenly there's another moving piece, and it's not a person, and it's not an apparatus that we're hanging on. It's separate, but it's involved. We're intertwined in it. We're stepping through it. We're moving our body in and out of it. And so that there's that piece, and then there's just this idea of going through life and maneuvering life's challenges and navigating through what life brings us to hopefully arrive at our true purpose. So that's what it's about, and we're excited to share it with you.